Well, I had a buddy back in '81, and we made ourselves a pact. We were heading for the new pipeline, we were never coming back. Well, we worked 80 hours making time and a half, but LaGrange was too damn hot. We drove back home at the end of that week, and we spent it all on pot. So I'll see you in Houston if I ever get out that way. I'll see you in Dallas, but I won't have long to stay. If you're ever out west, son, and you're feeling like slowing down, I'll see you around my hometown.
Man, if I knew how people resonated, I like to tell the story of my 10-year reunion and Bandera, and Charlie, of course, came to it for some strange reason. And we were all at the football game, and we were playing in Austin, but we had yet to make any inroads anywhere. And I walked by, and there was a group of little kids around Charlie, and I could hear them. They were saying, "Who are you? Are you a professional wrestler? Or are you on the Dukes of Hazzard?" And, but that was Charlie, you know, and he was going to be a big deal.
But, you know, I think it was just the acceptance that I got from Charlie and Bruce when I came to Texas, you know, because they were Charlie and Bruce. And to get their acceptance was everything that we all wanted back in the day. And very fortunate to have been good friends with the guy.
His songs painted a Texas landscape that you've been there, you've seen it, and he just describes it better than you can even describe it yourself. And then some of the stories in the songs, funny or whatever they were just like, oh, I've been to that place. I don't want to tell you what songs, but I've been to some of those places and I've lived those experiences, and I'm like, it couldn't have been told any better than sitting around a campfire with a bunch of buddies. I'm like, just listen to Charlie's version, that's what we did. I'm a huge Charlie fan. There's like an uncomparable influence that he's had on me. I vividly remember the first time that I ever saw or heard him was his Austin City Limits taping, and I saw it in my bedroom when I was in high school on the TV, and it blew me away. It changed my life. I mean, I was obsessed with 90s country at the time. It was just George Strait, Clint Black thing for me, and to see Charlie do what he did changed my whole perspective on how it could be done. And how songwriting, you could write about not just cliche stuff. It was, the way they performed was this rugged, non-commercial thing that I didn't know was a possibility. And Charlie changed everything about the way that I write and perform, and it's uncomparable the way that he influenced what I do.
And the diamond, how it sparkles in the lights of Loving County.
You know, when I think about Charlie as an artist, I think, I don't know if he gets enough credit for how Shakespearean some of his songs are. Lights of Loving County. I mean, it's just remarkable the journey that song goes on and where it takes you. It's like, did Charlie Robison write this or Larry McMurtry write this song? It's unbelievable.
When CMT was playing music videos, that was one of the first videos I saw from this genre, from Texas music. It wasn't Pat Green, it wasn't Ingram, it wasn't Robert or Joe Ely, which Joe Ely was the second one I saw. But it was Charlie Robison's My Hometown, and man, after that it was like, if this guy can do this, we can do this, because we're singing about the same kind of things, and 17 and My Hometown really aren't that far away from each other, and that's what he told me when I met him. He said, I feel like you wrote the sequel to my song. It's like, well, I might have accidentally done that. So My Hometown always sticks out, and I try to play it every night when we have those nights where we get 3-hour shows. I'd love to close the night, but
he just had a presence. He had a stage presence, Some people have it, some people don't. You don't really know how to really explain it, but when you see it, you know it and you feel it, and he was one of those guys.
It just, when you see pictures of him, that you see, and you still feel that electricity, you know? Just seeing him on stage, it's just like every photo you see, there's not a lame one out there because he's just like, you know, or like sweat pouring or like, you know, cigarette coming out of his mouth, you know, it's just like, that was no act, you know? That's just how he lived.
Charlie's show was always Charlie. It was a version of Charlie. It wasn't the whole thing. So every time I saw him, I realized that everybody was falling in love with just 20% of who he was. From that, it was after a gig that he played at the Continental. And I remember after that night, I told him, I said, I'm gonna direct your first music video. And he said, F you are. Who the F are you? And he played Barlight, and that's when I realized that it was gonna be a lifelong friendship.
It goes bar light, bar bright, first bar that I see tonight. Wish I might find someone to hold me tight. Hey diddle diddle, a man with a fiddle and the girls sing along with the tune. Just one more dance till you turn out the lights and you can shut down this saloon. I said just one more dance till you turn out.
Mutual friend of both of ours, Barry Tubb. Tubb introduced me to Charlie, and as they say, the rest is history. The first time you listen to his music, you know, if you're any kind of a music fan, which I am, you're gonna like it regardless, you know. His music's just like he was, just authentic. That's just him.
As everybody knows who knew him, just a frickin' star. Like, he's just like shined. He was just such a light. And then we were in a couple other of Barry's movies after that, and I made a movie, and this was something he always got a kick out of. We made this little movie called The Big Day, this wedding comedy. And Charlie and Bruce and Patterson were the wedding band, Mark. But Charlie had 2 or 3 scenes, and one of them was with Dixie Carter. And she fell for him. Afterwards, she was like, who is this Charlie? And she was smitten.
Well, I drive down Sunset Boulevard, my hair blowing in the wind.
We had a lot of fun together. I told him that, I said, you know, I could sing Sunset Boulevard better than you can. So the next day, when he went on stage, I was just standing off the side, just listening, and he said, oh yeah, and he starts talking smack about me that, oh, I think I can sing. And I'm like, I'm not afraid to sing next to you. Hell, I can sing as good as you can. So I went out there and I sang it on stage with him, and then I probably did it another, probably 20 times after that, from all the way from Billy Bob's to the Hard Rock in Vegas or wherever he was playing. I would always get up and sing one with him. And like I said, I wasn't nervous or afraid. I said, because hell, I sing as good as you do. Which I didn't, but that was my story, and I was sticking with it.
It's a New Year's Day here on the border, and it's always been this way. I never do the things I oughta. Think I'll stay. It's New Year's Day. Take us out to go.
Charlie Robison was a huge influence on me because I've known him since I was 18, and because of Rockport. Like, he played in Corpus, and we became really good friends, and he gave me a ton of good and bad advice. So it's just, people have gone through that, and he told me, like, you have to suck first, and I was like, really? Dang. So
I want to say, no one like Charlie, man, I'll tell you what. Totally fearless. Never did anything anybody ever asked him to do. He actually gave me some really good advice a couple of times, and I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, you know, it's weird that the person who never takes advice gives really good original advice. And I thought, you know, I haven't heard that before, you know, that's really good, true, genuine, original advice there, Charlie. And you never take advice. I know that you didn't borrow that from a playbook anywhere.
I always very much kept my music separate, but Charlie was always a huge sounding board for me. always. And he was one of the inspirations to a lot of my songs, you know. His divorce, spurred the idea and the inspiration for my song Out of These Blues, which he ended up recording, and it was about him. The main tagline in that song is, "That's just the way that I roll." Because that is that punk rock, that outlaw. It was hard to explain to him who he was without him being mad at me. So I did it in a song.
She went slow dancing with another, but I stayed behind. Baby, that's just the way that I roll.
And had fun together, wrote songs together, got drunk together, got in fights with our significant others together. I mean, it was everything. It was real life. And that's, as a young songwriter or a young artist, all you really want to do is experience. You want to find the cliff and say, hey, there's a cliff over there. I'll jump if you jump. And Charlie was always game to jump.
I've been looking for you, baby. I've been looking for you, baby. I've been looking for you, baby. I've been looking for you, baby, all night long. All night long. All night long.
I think creative exchanges that we had on film, because we were in sync, just to get that video done. I mean, he was on, he was ready to go, and he was possibly one of the greatest actors I've ever directed. And I've directed fellas that have won Academy Awards. He was a good man. He was a great friend. He was a brother.
But I won't have long to stay if you're ever out west, son. And you're feeling like slowing down, I'll see you around my hometown.
Charlie Robison was raw, real,
And never held back.
Just like his music.
As MusicFest celebrates his unforgettable legacy,
we invite you to join my hometown.
The Charlie Robison Music Foundation for Youth.
Your donation can change a kid's life.
Giving them the same chance Charlie had to defy the odds and chase their passion for music.
To learn more and donate today, visit charlierobisonfoundation.org. It's not just a scholarship fund that I envision, because, you know, I feel like there's so many different areas where you can help children, and maybe they're going to be like Charlie, where they're not going to finish college, you know, or they're going to get as far as they can get in college and they realize they want to be a musician full time. But this is about helping kids like Charlie that excelled against all odds and just needed a little bit of help from the village that raised them.
you know, Charlie had a kind of a rough road to get where he was, and did it on his own terms and did it himself. This was really made all the sense in the world, and I thought, what a wonderful legacy in his name to do for these children, because I know it's going to benefit a lot of kids. It's not only a legacy for Charlie, but for the Robison family, I believe. I think for everybody, because they're all so willing to help people out, and they've always been there for people, and this is the arm with Charlie's name on it.
You know, musical kids or kids that, need a helping hand in the fine arts. This is a very broad, this is not just for music, but it's inspired by music. If you're not a Texas-based, person, you love Charlie's music, you believe in this opportunity for kids inspired by Charlie, then you get on the website and you donate. Or you buy a t-shirt or a cap or whatever we might have that would help to support this amazing cause. So
I'm just such a big fan. Last fall, after he passed, I recorded a kind of an acoustic thing in my barn doing Sunset Boulevard, and just so much respect for his catalog and for his career, and I think it's a shame he's not here anymore.
everybody always wanted to deliver songs like he did. And so having the opportunity to pay tribute and deliver his songs to him wherever he is, it's something that as an artist you just are grateful to be a part of.
And then it was pretty much during the pandemic where kind of things clicked in my head. It changed everybody, right? And so for me, I just thought of me and Charlie, you know, in our two Mustangs, you know, trailing down to Austin with no plans at all, from Arlington, no idea what we were going to do and what we accomplished. And so it just made me incredibly proud of that Charlie was my brother, and then after he passed, then that outpouring, you saw how many hundreds of thousands, or Jesus, might be millions of people that he touched with his life. And so that was it was an amazing thing to see that, what happened when he passed.
And I would not remember how you broke